Hi everyone, welcome back to MEG Motors. Today we're going to be working on this Stihl FS111R line trimmer. This one actually runs okay, but the clutch, there's something going on with the clutch. So sometimes the head is spinning even at idle, which it shouldn't do. And sometimes when you hit the throttle, the drive system is bound up somehow. It won't let the engine rev and the head doesn't spin at all. So something's going on with the clutch, not sure exactly what, but we're going to pull the front of this one apart and see what's going on in there. I've seen situations where the springs will break on the clutch and it'll cause some problems in there. So we're going to pull this one apart, see what's going on with the clutch and see what we got to do to fix that and make this one work like it should. So let me reset the camera and we'll get this one started. All right, so the clutch is in here, and so to get a look at the clutch, we're going to have to take the shaft off and pull this cover off. And to get the shaft off, we have to loosen the control handle, and there's two screws that are inside these holes in the handle. See if we can get those loose. And once those are loose, the handle should spin on the shaft like that, which is good. Then we got one more screw right here. Have to loosen that one up, and that should loosen the shaft. Yeah, so that's the shaft loose, and then we can walk the shaft out of the engine. And that takes the shaft off. All right, and so now that we have the shaft off, we're going to pull this front cover. Not sure if it's going to come off with this red cover in place still, but we're going to take some stuff loose and see what happens. Yeah, it's not going to come off with that cover in place, so luckily there's not much more to take the cover off than we have to do to take that front hub apart. This front cover is obviously, this top cover is obviously seen better days. This has that air filter. Oh, look at there. Oh yeah. And as I suspected, you can see right here is this is the spring. The spring that should be holding the clutch. And it should stretch across here to here, and it's laying down inside the clutch down there. So we definitely have a broken spring on this one. I'm going to get a wrench to take this part apart. We'll see if we can get that clutch apart. You know what, I'm going to cheat just a little bit and see if I can get those to come off with an impact. Yeah, so the way this is supposed to work is this spring right here is supposed to stretch across and connect these two shoes together so that as the engine spins, it resists the clutch shoes from flying out and engaging the hub to drive the attachment. And so this spring is broken. And so when that happens, this shoe is free to sling out using centrifugal force with the engine at idle, and it'll cause the head to turn all the time. So we're going to have to order a spring for this. Order a spring for it and replace that spring, and yeah, that should fix this one up. So let me get that on order and then we'll put this one back together. Alright, so we got our new spring in for this, and we need to get it installed between these two clutch shoes. And so the easy way to do that is to take the shoes off of the clutch. And then put the spring in place. Then you have to stretch the clutch shoes back into position. So we'll put like that. And then once you have them like this, we can work them back onto the base of the clutch. Just like that. All right, so that puts our clutch spring back in place. We need to put this back on the engine. And so we're going to put these two screws in. We're going to use a little Loctite, and we're going to put it back on the flywheel. Make sure we got the camera in the right place. Gotta be careful we don't get so much on there that it gets up into the pivot of the clutch and makes the clutch stick. We don't want that. And so we're going to put this back on just like we took it off with the impact. Alright, so that gets our clutch back together. Let's see, we can confirm that it still moves at least. That shoe moves. Let's see if I got something. Here we go, let's try this. Yep, so we can see that that shoe moves. We can see that this shoe moves, so that should be good. Everything should be back together. Alright, so all we have to do now is reassemble, and we'll put it all back together and see if the clutch works better now. Alright, so to get started we need to put the clutch hub back on. So this is what the clutch shoes expand against to turn the attachment, whatever it might be, trimmer in this case. Alright, and then we got now this cover here. We're going to eventually probably order a new cover for this because this one's broken up, but it needs to be in place before we can tighten up all of the screws, because it goes down between this housing and the engine, and so we need it in place. All right. Next, we need to get the shaft back on. And so it's pretty much the opposite of how we took it off. We'll get the handle on first. Then we'll slide the shaft up into the engine. That went right in. And then we have some screws to tighten. We got a pinch screw down here that holds the shaft into the engine. And then we got two screws that that stop the trigger handle from spinning on the shaft. Alright, I have a new air filter for this as well. Let me grab that new air filter and then we'll give it a test start and make sure that it's working like we think it should. Well, I thought I had a new air filter, but the ones that I ordered came in and they're not the right ones. So we're going to put the old one back in temporarily. It's pretty dirty, but not so dirty that it won't run. And so we're going to put this all back together, and then I'll order a new air filter when I order the new top cover, and we'll get that installed. All right, I think we're ready to start. All right, let's see how it does. I have the choke set. I pumped the primer. We have fuel in it. So let's see what happens. I don't know if you can see the trigger head there, but it's still at idle. It's right up when we start. Sounds like we could use a little bit of carburetor adjustment on this one. Now let me look and see what tool we need. Alright, so I've got an adjustment tool. This is a hexagon adjustment tool. The symptoms we're seeing where it doesn't want to run full throttle typically indicate that it's a little lean on the top end. So I'm going to open the high-speed needle just about a quarter of a turn. All right, let's see how that does. Yeah, that sounds better. So yeah, I think we can call this one fixed. Basically, that broken spring was the only problem. That spring breaks, the shoes can fly out at idle too easy, and it'll keep the head spinning all the time. I don't know that problem's the end of the world. It's still usable the way that it was, just maybe not as convenient. Some people like the head to stop. But anyway, it's working like it should now, so like I said, we can call this one fixed. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I hope this encourages you to get out there and work on your own. This was it was a medium difficult problem to solve probably. If you don't know what the problem is, I've seen this problem a few times before, so I was pretty sure I knew what it was when we first started. But it wasn't terribly difficult to solve. Didn't need any really special tools. I think the only tool that we used was the tool that came with the Stihl, the 27 Torx and a 10 millimeter wrench on the impact to get the clutch off, and that's really all we use. Nothing really exotic, so pretty easy fix. And yeah, so I hope this encourages you to get out there and try to fix your own. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you did, please like and subscribe. Check my playlist. There's other videos out there about small engine repair. And yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you on the next repair.